Think about the last time you stopped for gas late at night. Did you feel a chill? A sense of unease? You're not alone. Gas stations, especially those off lonely highways, are often hotspots for paranormal activity. Places where the veil between our world and the next is thin. Places like Pine Ridge Gas Station. Nestled on the edge of Blackwood Forest, Pine Ridge Gas Station has served travelers for decades. It's more than just a place to fill your tank. It's a landmark shrouded in unsettling tales. Locals whisper about strange occurrences, unexplained noises, and a pervasive feeling of being watched. Are these just stories? Or something more sinister? Employees tell of phantom footsteps echoing through the aisles when no one else is around. Objects move mysteriously. The air grows heavy, filled with an unseen presence. Customers report a feeling of dread, an urge to flee. Whispers seem to emanate from the darkness just beyond the gas pumps. The land on which Pine Ridge Gas Station stands has a dark history. Local legend claims it was once the site of a brutal crime, a tale whispered in hushed tones. Some say the victims of this tragedy never truly left, their spirits trapped, seeking solace or perhaps revenge. Tales from the night shift. Employee encounters. The night shift at a gas station can be an eerie experience, especially when the world outside is cloaked in darkness and silence. The stillness of the night often amplifies every sound, every creak, and every whisper, making the mundane seem mysterious and the ordinary extraordinary. Mark, a former night shift employee, describes his chilling encounters. He recalls the unsettling events that made his time at the gas station unforgettable. The quiet hours between midnight and dawn were often the most unnerving, filled with inexplicable occurrences that defied logic and reason. Mark, one night, I was stocking shelves when I heard a woman's voice whisper my name. It was so clear and distinct that I instinctively turned around, expecting to see someone standing there. But to my surprise, the aisle was empty, and there was no one in sight. The voice seemed to come from nowhere, echoing in the silence of the night. I turned, but nobody was there. The emptiness of the aisle only added to the eeriness of the situation. I felt a chill run down my spine as I stood there, trying to make sense of what had just happened. The silence that followed was almost deafening, and I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. The hair stood up on the back of my neck. It was as if an invisible presence was watching me, making the air around me feel heavy and oppressive. I couldn't shake off the feeling of being observed, and it made every moment in that gas station feel like an eternity. I knew then that something wasn't right. Others share similar stories. Many of my colleagues had their own tales of strange occurrences during the night shift. We would often gather during breaks to share our experiences, each story more bizarre than the last. It was a way to cope with the fear and uncertainty that came with working in such an isolated and eerie environment. Footsteps, whispers, the feeling of being watched. These were common themes in our stories. The sound of footsteps echoing in an empty hallway, whispers that seemed to come from the shadows, and the constant sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. These experiences were not just figments of our imagination. They were real and tangible, leaving us with a sense of unease that lingered long after our shifts ended, all experienced in the dead of night. The gas station, with its flickering lights and deserted surroundings, became a place of mystery and fear. Each night brought with it the possibility of another encounter, another unexplained event that would add to the growing list of strange occurrences. It was a place where the line between reality and the supernatural seemed to blur, leaving us to question what was real and what was not. Even those just passing through have reported strange occurrences. These tales have been whispered among travelers, shared in hushed tones over late-night coffee breaks and long drives. The gas station, a seemingly mundane stop, becomes a place of eerie encounters as the sun sets and shadows grow long. A woman filling her tank felt a cold hand on her shoulder, only to turn and find no one there. She described the sensation as icy, sending shivers down her spine. Her heart raced as she scanned the empty lot, the only sound being the hum of the gas pump. Was it a ghostly presence, or just her imagination running wild? A truck driver swore he saw a figure in his rearview mirror, a figure that vanished into thin air. He was a seasoned driver, not one to be easily spooked, but this encounter left him shaken. He described the figure as a shadowy silhouette, standing still before disappearing without a trace. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. Are these tricks of the mind, or perhaps the result of fatigue and long hours on the road? Many have tried to rationalize these experiences, attributing them to stress or overactive imaginations. Yet the stories persist, each one more chilling than the last. Or is there something more sinister at play? Could these gas stations be haunted by restless spirits, forever bound to the places where they met their untimely ends? The eerie atmosphere, the flickering lights, and the unsettling silence all contribute to the sense of dread that hangs in the air. As night falls, the gas station transforms into a place of mystery and fear, leaving travelers to wonder if they will be the next to encounter the unknown. One chilling tale stands out. It's a story that has been whispered around campfires and shared in hushed tones, a tale that sends shivers down the spine of anyone who hears it. A group of friends passing through on a road trip stopped at Pine Ridge for gas. They were in high spirits, laughing and joking as they pulled into the old, creaky gas station. The night was dark, and the air was thick with an eerie silence that seemed to swallow their laughter. As they filled their tank, one of them, a young woman named Sarah, vanished without a trace. One moment she was there, chatting with her friends, and the next, she was gone. It was as if the night had swallowed her whole. Her friends searched frantically, calling out her name, their voices echoing in the stillness of the night. They scoured the gas station, checked the nearby woods, and even drove up and down the deserted road, but she was nowhere to be found. Panic set in as the minutes turned into hours. Days later, Sarah reappeared, miles away, with no memory of what had happened. She was found wandering along a deserted road, disoriented and confused. Her clothes were dirty, and she looked like she had been through an ordeal. When her friends finally found her, she was dazed and unable to explain where she had been or how she had gotten there, by whom, and why. The questions lingered, haunting her friends and everyone who heard the story. Some say she was taken by a mysterious figure that lurks in the shadows of Pine Ridge, a figure that preys on unsuspecting travelers. Others believe it was something supernatural, an entity that exists beyond our understanding. The truth remains a mystery lost in the darkness of that fateful night. The haunting of Pine Ridge gas station remains an enigma. Is it the spirits of past tragedies seeking peace, or something more malevolent? Whatever the truth, one thing is certain. Pine Ridge is a place where the veil between our world and the next is thin, a place where fear takes hold and the unexplained reigns supreme. Have you ever experienced something you couldn't explain at a gas station? A chill, a whisper, a feeling of being watched? Share your stories in the comments below. The truth is out there,